Welcome back to the Game for Music Drums channel. We're here at SlamDunk Festival 2025 and we're away to talk to the legendary Frank Zummo.
And let the journey begin. Fate, a shining face, letting someone for all his face. So full of place, I just wanna get.
How are you doing?
I'm great, man. Thanks for coming out and covering today.
Yeah, that's cool. Obviously, we're here to talk about your drum kits. We're obviously a very drum-focused channel, so I guess first of all, obviously, you're playing with Electric Callboy today as opposed to Street Drum Corps and Sum41. So how would you kind of like adapt your drum kit to different styles of play, and what have you done?
I mean, obviously with Street Drum Corps, we were playing on found objects, and then we brought in a drum kit, which I was playing very big size drums and not a ton of drums, because it's just, that's what worked for that. But, you know, Street Drum Corps, I haven't been a part of for a while, and even before I left it, I wasn't performing anymore. I was kind of running it, and because I got in Sum41, and that just took over. Really, in Sum41, I just took what I had been, kind of what I grew up on, kind of with what I was doing today, and combined it. Because, you know, with all the metal stuff, 2 kick drums are just more natural than a double pedal for me, because I grew up as just a metal kid with 2 kick drums. But I always like just 1 rack tom, because I don't really need more than that up top, 2 floor toms. And I've literally used that setup for a decade in Sum41, and with Callboy, it's literally the same setup. The only difference, like we could, you know, to drum nerd out on, is like I'm using a 12-inch rack instead of a 13. And then the depths of my kick drum and floor toms is just a little bit longer. But still, like the UFO drum, which is perfect for this band because there's all the techno parts. So I'm playing all the 4 on the floor on that big old UFO, and it just shakes the room, which is great. Same brass snares as always. The only other cymbal thing I changed, I'm using an X-hat on my right now. I got rid of a sample pad. I'm just using an X-hat for like more of just the dance stuff and some of the metal stuff. Just have a closed hat. But I'm still using electronics and playing samples live and things. So it's just kind of works for, I feel like, all applications. For, you know, metal, EDM, punk, rock. This setup is kind of just feels comfortable.
Like it's incredibly versatile, so you can like adapt to how you're playing. Cool. So obviously you've been like an SJC artist for quite a while now. Like, what is it that like really draws you to that brand? What like stands out about SJC kits that
I love custom drum companies. You know, I played Orange County Drums for a long time, and I just love companies that it's totally custom with just, they can do anything. There's no, you dream it up, they'll make it happen. You want a couch drum set, they'll figure it out, you know? So it's like, and also the drums sound amazing. So, and just the creative stuff that they wanted to do with me that we're continuing doing is like what I'm all about. So, you know, we make art kits. Like right when I got this gig, they were like, we have this new Navigator series. It's pink splatter. They sent me the drums before they went to anybody else or stores. And, you know, they're the same shells that I use. And it's perfect. Party pink splatter. This with the turnaround was like days. Get drums, get them shipped, get them all the way to over here in my cases. So it was wild. That's why, like, you know, I couldn't be so picky on depths. And this is like a shell pack that anybody can get, which is great, and they sound great and they're working great, so it's all good.
That's really cool. Because obviously I've seen like previously when you did like the Heaven and Hell tour, you had a really cool kit where you had like the blue lights on LEDs on one side, the red LEDs on the other side.
Those kits were special. It was the first 2 kits I ever themed to an actual album cycle. Both of those kits came out, like they just came back literally the day that these drums shipped here. Like literally they came out of my cases and went to 2 different museums.
Cool.
The one kit is on display right now in the Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas. The other kit will be up this August at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. So both my kits will be on display, which is pretty rad. And I was like, hey, SJC, this Callboy thing happened really quick. I don't have drums, they're going to museums. So what could we do in this quick turnaround? And the team just totally came through on this drum kit, and it's been awesome.
I mean, that's awesome that SJC could sort you out so quickly. Like,
they're great.
When you have got your kit on stage, are there any like little hidden features that you definitely have to have in there? Things that you are very specific about that you want to have, just obviously, but people might not be able to notice from the crowd, like
on
your actual kit, like is there any little touches or?
I mean, I would say the most on stage, it's always gonna be that. I'm lucky that my drums ship and they're there for me.
Yeah.
I would just say it's more important the off stage
Yeah.
because I need to warm up and be ready for the show and all that. So it's like basically I need to have a proper practice kit
Yeah.
and just certain things that I need just to warm up because Sum41 or Callboy is a full-on athletic
Yeah.
sport drumming gig. So I've got to be very, loose and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, imagine it's like a full-on workout when you're up there. Like it's fast all
Yeah.
the time, like
Oh, yeah.
energetic. So imagine you've got to warm up. I did see that you were using V drums for those warm-ups previously. Is that still something that you?
Yeah, V drums have been great. Like I had a V drum kit on the final tour that I would actually play in a portion of the show. We did that for the first half of the tour. Then we did something else. So I was like, it's way more inspiring to play that than pads, And what I love about the V drums, the brain that I have has an internal click, Bluetooth headphones, and I can Bluetooth my phone to it so I can play along and hear everything. So
Yeah.
it was great for my warm up to run songs I needed to practice. And Electric Callboy has their own similar rig over
Yeah.
here. So I'm using that over here.
Awesome. So obviously with SJC drums, you obviously take them on tour. You've used them for a while. What do you think in terms of like the durability of them and the way that they kind of stand the like stresses that obviously quite a heavy hitter when you're
Yeah.
playing, quite fast pace. Do they stand up when you're going up?
100%. I mean, think about the final Sum tour. I mean, the drums got put through. We had 2 identical rigs being shipped all over the world multiple times,
Yeah.
rotting in trucks,
Yeah.
boats, planes, me beating them for 2 hours a night. We had no issues with any. I didn't have to call. And also, SJC literally gave me a whole pack of, hey, if anything breaks, here's a bunch of replacement
That's
parts
really cool.
for my lighting, like you said in the kick. Here's extra battery packs and whatever. And honestly, I didn't call them once, and I didn't even open any of those extra parts. So I've got them for this kit, which is
Yeah.
great.
I mean, that's such a testament to the way that they're constructed. Like, it is impressive. So in terms of obviously, if you were like to say to anyone to get an SJC kit, what would be the first thing you'd say to them in terms of like?
I mean, what I love about SJC is now they've got a price point for everybody.
Yeah.
If you're a beginner or you can only afford, I've played their very affordable kits. The Pathfinder kit,
Yeah.
I got it for my old house as just a little practice kit. Then my kids wound up using it, and then I actually drowned it in the bottom of a pool for one of my music videos, and it sat at the bottom of a pool all day.
Yeah.
I took it out, it was perfectly fine. And this is an affordable, drum kit. And then I donated it to School of Rock, music school in America after. But like, they've got a price point for everybody, so many finish options. And they're I would say like their customer support. They treat, if you were like a customer
Yeah.
and not me, they treat you the same. It's not like, oh, you're a customer and this is my artist. Like they treat everybody like rock stars with the
Yeah.
same care. And that's very rare.
Yeah. I mean, even with us, they're fantastic. Like, send them an email, they've got a response straight away. They are fantastic with that.
They get it.
And I guess a testament to SJC kits. If you manage to drown that at the bottom of a pool, pull it out, and it's still functioning. That's unreal.
100%.
Whatever you do, whatever you say, I'm gonna stand to burn against the light. It's all that
Obviously, both of your parents are musicians. So when was it that you kind of felt like you were going down the same path of being a musician as well? What was the first moment you kind of thought, this is for
my
me?
parents, they were in a band together, so I just grew up in that.
Yeah.
They said I started playing drums when I was like 2. Obviously, I don't remember that.
Early starter.
But my earliest memory was when I was 5 and I went to my first concert, Ozzy and Motley Crue, and like just being in that arena, feeling that power, I knew right there, and it set me on the path that I'm still living today.
Cool.
Really.
So like Tommy Lee was like your
My guy,
yeah.
and still is.
Yeah.
It's like, he's such a powerful pocket, and just to put drums to the front. He was like, made drums a spectacle,
Yeah.
He really did.
He's like one of the first, like, well, not the first, but he was a very big drummer for drums to make them kind of like shine in the spotlight. And I guess it must be really cool as well, because further down the line, you stood in for some Motley Crue gigs, which is like, describe how that must have been, because that must have been like a full circle moment.
It was one of those moments like Electric Callboy, like emergency situation, come in, play, no rehearsal. I did that with Motley, which was like a dream, for my favorite band, which was incredible. And then like I hadn't done that in a long time, and then I just had to do it in Australia with Callboy, and I was like, all right, here we go again. Let's tap back into like having to deliver with short notice and all that. So,
Because tell me obviously about how the Electric Callboy thing came about, because I know that Tank's got a YouTube channel and he talks about it there and he sings your praises. So tell me about a little bit more in detail how that came about. How was that from you? Because obviously we've had their side. How was that on your side?
I just, they took our spot to headline. We went to Australia. We canceled the tour. Day of, Derek was diagnosed with a pneumonia, so done. And we still had to be in Australia for a couple days before we can go home. And Electric Callboy took our spot in the festival, and then the drummer had to go home on the show day, the morning of the show. So they hit up my team and said, is Frank still in the country? Would he be interested in meeting with us to see if he possibly could play with us tonight? And I was just like, yeah. So we had a meeting. They sent me a live recording. I locked myself in my hotel room for 5 hours, got to the gig. Luckily, my SUM41 team was still there, so my tech got to go and dial in the drums and all that stuff. And I was able to just like jump right in, and I did 3 shows in a row with them for their festivals, and it worked out somehow. Somehow it just...
I mean, you're here now with them, so I mean...
yeah, it planted the seed for this, which we didn't know. There wasn't, after, it was just like I filled in. I carried on with SUM41. On the last day of the final SUM41 show, they said, hey, you helped us in Australia. Would you want to come do festivals with us this summer? We need a drummer for the summer. I'm like, yeah, let's go. So perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing, definitely. I mean, in terms of playing with Electric Callboy, it's a crazy energy. Like the songs they do, like hype, like
Totally.
Obviously it's like through the roof. Everyone's bouncing. How do you find those atmospheres, obviously compared to like sort of SUM41? Obviously SUM41 is still very much bouncing. It's all like energetic and stuff like that. But
it's the same energy. It's the same energy. It's the same drumming. I mean, the metal stuff I'm doing with them is very SUM41 metal side, except the pop punk and like punk rock beats are now techno beats.
Yeah.
But like I played with DJs, I played with Corella and Keizo for years, and I love electronic music. So this really combines like my favorite music in one. But as far as drumming and the vibe of the crowd and just everything, it's at the same hype level, which is, I feel at home. It's not like I'm in like a country band and I'm just like totally fish out of water and it's like different. This just feels great.
Feels like you're at home. Totally. I mean, it must be really cool to kind of blend those two of your loves together, 100%. Like the techno side and the metal side, because you can hear that and you're playing with SUM41. It's like awesome, like honestly, really fast. And then see with Electric Callboy, it's all like amped up to 10 as I say. In the future, what have you got planned for the future after this summer tour of Electric Callboy?
I mean, we're taking one thing at a time. Doing the festival run with them for now. I've got a book coming out in the fall, which is like basically what I do at my drum workshops in a book. Just all this conversation about wellness, mental health, like these gigs, how I prepared, what I learned from them, like, a really fun project. So the book's gonna come out in the fall. I'll be doing more drum workshops. I have a new band I launched called Grab Us. We're putting out music from now till the fall.
Awesome.
So, and then just balancing it with family time, which is the most important thing after the long final Sum tour. It's just about balancing everything with family time as well.
Exactly, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Like obviously working on a book and working on new music sounds like there's a lot of like exciting things in the future as well. I guess like just to wrap it up, we have like a lot of like young drummers that watch our channel. Like, what's one piece of advice that you think all young drummers should kind of focus on? One bit that you think that every drummer should always hold in their mind when they're starting to learn or when they're playing?
I think for drummers or anybody in life, it's like, if that's what you want to do, be a drummer. Or you want to be a doctor or a painter or whatever it is. If that's what you want to do, just do it until it happens and stay on that path. Like, I am no different. As you asked me earlier, 5 years old, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I've been living that since. Like SUM41 ended. What are you going to do? I'm going to continue touring. I'm going to find the next proper gig and just go. So it's like, just have tunnel vision, learn everything you could learn, never stop learning. We live in a world now where there's so much great free content and social media and YouTube that you can learn from your heroes, It's like, there's so many great platforms like Drumeo and all these online lessons and things. just like work at your craft, never stop learning, never stop listening, and just go until it happens. Then when it happens, just keep it going as well.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for coming out. Enjoy the show and enjoy these drums.
We will do.
Yeah, I mean, I believe these drums are going to be available on. You guys are going to be carrying this Navigator series.
Yeah, we'll have the full Navigator series available. So yeah,
that's awesome. And when I got in SUM41, Gear for Music came out to one of the shows, and I remember meeting with the team backstage. So we clearly have a long history. So thank you guys for just being part of this, my UK journey, my drum journey.
That's awesome. It's glad. Yeah. Well, we're happy to be a part of it, and hopefully we'll see you again when you tour next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.